Hey, what's going on? It's your boy back at you with another video. And today I want to make another dating video. And today I want to talk about something that I had a conversation with today. And we're going to talk about stop treating your spouse like God. This ain't going to be a long video, I promise. Stop treating them like God. And I see a lot of people make this mistake. I see a lot of people thinking that they won't leave and they can leave. Stop worshiping them. Stop putting your spouse on this pedestal. Stop doing that. Because when you put them on a pedestal, you actually running them away when you do that. When you go on Instagram and Facebook, and it's okay every blue moon to talk about your wife on Instagram or husband on Instagram. It's all right. But once you become obsessive with it, then it becomes a problem. And I think a lot of folks think that because they sign this paper, and you hear it in a lot of songs, and that this is going to be forever. It's nothing forever. You're not even forever. You don't know when your last hour will be. So nothing is forever. Relationships are not forever. Jobs are not forever. Life is not forever. But see, people get into that. They get caught up into that. They think that, the term that they use, this is my girlfriend. This is my boyfriend. This is my wife. This is my husband. Stop using that. You don't own a person. You don't own nothing. You can't control a person. You can't control a person's feelings. You can't control a person's emotions. When a person, I don't care how much money you have, I don't care about your physique, about none of this stuff. When a person says that they want to leave you, they can leave you at any time. So you can't control a person. When a person is fed up with you, they can leave, married or not. Just because you wear a ring, that don't mean nothing. Just because you wear a ring, they won't leave you because you signed that paper? Don't mean nothing. Because you worship them. You worshiping them. You start taking things for granted. You feel like, I ain't got to do no more work now. So know what you stop doing? Once you get that piece of paper, you start going to the gym. You start getting that fresh cut every week. For the ladies, you start getting them nails done. You stop getting your hair done. You start going to the gym. You start eating more. That's a problem. You start, and ladies, I'm gonna talk about this. You start controlling the sex. Cause now, when y'all wasn't married, you were having sex like 8 times a week, twice a day. Then it starts dwindling. It starts becoming you were having sex every day. But then it gets to the point where you'll have it every 2 days. Then you'll have it every 3 days. Or what you'll do is every time he gets mad, you won't give him sex. Men do that too. I'm tired tonight. You start getting complacent. And that's what happens when that's what makes them want to step out. You stop becoming the person that they fell in love with. You used to go to the Athlete's Foot on Saturday, because we got Athlete's Foot down here. I don't know if, or Foot Locker or Amazon. Every time you got paid once a month, you had a new fresh pair of shoes. You always had a fresh outfit. You always had the cologne. You always had the barbershop. Ladies do too. Ladies had the braids, the hair, always had the fresh outfits. Y'all was always fresh everywhere y'all went. But then once you get married, you stop doing it. And that's where a lot of problems happen. You stop going on dates. You stop doing things, spontaneous things. You stop, when you're at the beach, you stop having sex on the beach. You start having sex in the car. You start having fun nights. You start being complacent. I'm gonna tell you something. My dad always told me. I love my dad because he always told me good things for my life. And he always told me that once you become satisfied, the game is over. You never become satisfied when it comes to marriage. Whatever they want you to do it. Because the next person will. The night you don't feel like having sex, the other person will. The person that don't feel like cooking, the next person will. I hope that this video is hitting home because there's a lot of people that worship people. They think they won't leave, and they will leave you in a heartbeat. I'm living proof. Had a young lady I was in love with. Woke up one day and said, look, I don't want to be here anymore. And she left. And that taught me from that day on that you don't own a person. You don't own them. You may own a dog. You may own a house. You may own a car. You may own property. You may own a business. But you can't own a person. So stop thinking that because you signed that piece of paper that the work is over. Are you serious? That's when the work begins. Because when they see your wife or husband with them rings on, the women and the men, they see you happy. Or let's say the men, they see your wife at the job. She got the nice shape, got the nails done, hair done. Once you become, they see that, they're gonna hop all over that. So you gotta understand that. Don't get complacent. Don't think they won't leave, because they will. But see, that's the problem. That a lot of people put their spouses on pedestals. Your spouse ain't God. God is God. Because when they leave, you're going to leave God, because God says that I will never leave nor forsake you. That you put no person above him. He is a jealous God. And once you start worshiping people, that's a problem. He's a jealous God. He wants all the attention. So you don't put your trust in man. You put, like the scripture says, Psalms 118:8, it says, you never put your confidence in man. Jeremiah says, I don't know what scripture it is, but it says that cursed is the man who puts his trust in man. Every time you put your trust in man, it's going to fail. That's why you put your trust in him. You see where I'm getting with this? Stop thinking that they won't leave, because they can and they will. And won't have a second care about it. That's why it's your job to not worship them all the time. Don't worship. It's okay to every now and then say, I love you text, or every now and then, when they birthday come on Facebook, happy birthday, baby, I love you, or happy anniversary, baby, I love you. It's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, when you go overboard, they run. You have to still date. You have to do things. And that's what a lot of people stop doing. They start taking things for granted. And they leave. Do you see where I'm getting with this? Stop worshiping them, man. Start treating them like Jesus Christ, because they're not. I hope that I'm gonna say something. When I do these videos, I hope that I'm helping people, because people need to hear the truth, man. For a lot of people on social media, when I talk about these things, they think that oh, Big Game, he a bitter guy. Not bitter, just telling you the truth. That the person that you look out for, the person that you look out for be the same person that screw you over. You don't trust what they say. I watch what they do. Women, people, period. But I'm gonna get into this. That's another reason why relationships go stale. Because you stop being the person. You run away from the formula. Why run away from the formula that gave you success? It just don't make sense. You stop looking fresh. You start gaining weight. You start getting complacent. And you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna find somebody that ain't complacent. They're gonna find somebody that when you don't feel like having sex, they'll find somebody that wanna have sex. You don't want to do better, they'll find somebody that want to do better. Don't get complacent, because they will leave, married or not. Don't have it. And I want you to understand that when they come to you, let's say you married 10 years and she wake up one day and say, look, I don't want to be here no more. Then it won't hit you as hard, because you didn't put your total trust in a person. You can't do that. You just cannot do that. You cannot worship people, because it doesn't work. You can't do that. And I see a lot of this, that they need to get rid of that. This is my wife. This is my husband. Stop saying that. Because you can't own a person. You can't. They're not yours. Yeah, on paper. But can you own a person? You can't really control a person's emotions. You can't control people. That's all I gotta say. Ain't gonna be on this long. And then another thing I noticed that a lot of women do, and this is a mistake that a lot of women do. A lot of women feel like, I ain't gotta do no work no more. I ain't gotta hit that gym. I ain't gotta give him sex like I used to. So every little time their husband make them mad, they say, you know what? You ain't getting in this cookie jar. Then over time, you know what happens? He goes out and cheats. Stop that foolishness, man. Stop that foolishness. Because I'm gonna tell you this. What you won't do, somebody else will. Trust me. Things you don't feel like doing, somebody else will. You don't feel like talking, somebody else will feel like talking. And this is for the fellas too. If you don't feel like watching Lifetime with her, somebody else will watch Lifetime with her. A lot of these dudes out here, they put sports above their marriage. You can't do that. Suppose you find somebody who don't love sports. They don't like sports. And a lot of guys struggle with that because they put sports above everything. You can't do that. That's called being, like I'm going to say it again, that's called being complacent. It's all right to watch sports sometimes, but sometimes, even during the games, go in there and check on them. You don't own nothing because they can leave and they will leave if you give them a reason to, right? You don't own anything. You don't even own yourself. You don't even own yourself. So how can you think you own a person? This is my boyfriend. Stop saying my. Stop saying that. And just keep putting the work. But don't totally trust a person. Just don't do it. Because what you won't do, somebody else will. That's it all I gotta say. That's it. Deuces.